Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is good old MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio. We are awaiting the arrival of Michael Bullock. If he shows up, great. If he doesn't, then I guess we'll wait for him next week then. So, guys, we're just about getting ready to go. We're about to start with the first the first fight of the evening, as it was. Um, uh, I'm just gonna say that it was um, a promo segment by John Cena, um, and he cut it a pretty good promo. Of course, as you guys know, that this was a dual show. Um, some was at Cleveland, Ohio, in the Rocket Mortgage Arena, and then other parts was at the Rolling Loud Festival in Miami, Florida. So we started it off with John Cena at the Rocket Mortgage Arena in Cleveland, formerly known, uh, and he cut in a pretty good promo. The crowd was a little more louder, was a little more better, and he definitely played to the crowd and everything else, and actually did an acknowledgement of the brand new team. Well, not really new team, but the renamed team. As everybody knows, if you've heard it through the water cooler today, that uh, the Cleveland baseball team is going to be referred from now on, starting next year, as the Cleveland Guardians. They are retiring the Cleveland Indians name, and it's going to be referred to the Cleveland Guardians starting next season. Um, this was a hot button issue. Some people love it. A lot of people hate it. It's kind of not in the middle. And Cena actually talked about it, and I thought that was a little bit surprising. But it is what it is. There's really nothing more to say. And Anthony, I thought this was a solid promo. Cena definitely had a more livelier crowd in Cleveland than he did in Dallas, and he played that off really well. I think he was better tonight than he was on Monday night with his promo.
Oh yeah, definitely. Cena was great here, the consummate entertainer. He brought energy to the show right out of the gate, captivated the audience with every word he spoke, and framed the feud with Roman Reigns exactly as intended. He represents respect, the tribal chief, selfishness. Paul Heyman answering on behalf of Roman Reigns and setting up a main event promo segment for later in the show may not be everyone's preferred conclusion to a show, but given the star power involved, it is exactly what a show this close to one of WWE's premier events deserves. So, not more to say on that. Let's get into our first match, MF, and I'll start it off.
First fight of the night, it was Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn. Finn Balor, the man that does the ordinary man that does extraordinary things, wins the match in 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Coup de grace, or coup de ca, like Luigi PS3 would say. Love you, Luigi. 8 minutes, 45 seconds. Balor wins. Florio, it's yours.
2.5 to 3 stars for this. There wasn't much to the match, but there doesn't have to be. Finn Balor and Sami Zayn are old pros who almost could sleepwalk their way through an adequate match. The commercial break certainly hurt the flow, but both men upped the intensity for a fun final stretch. Balor winning should have been a no-brainer given his recent return, but considering the way management has treated other NXT champions recently, it's still something worth crossing your fingers and toes over. The commentary team put Balor over strong, especially Pat McAfee. Time will tell if the Prince's return to the big stage of the WWE main roster will net him different and better results than his first trip around. So 2.5, maybe 3 for the effort here. So not much more to say. MF, the inaugural Universal Champion, back, and he's back with a bang and better than ever.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Solid match, definitely great battle. Uh, there's really nothing more to add. This was about 3 stars for me. And then we had a match: Angelo Dawkins versus Chad Gable. Angelo Dawkins wins the match in 4 minutes even. I mean, all right, this was kind of a little bit of a quick battle. Nothing more to say. Um, and this was actually the portion of the show that went to the rolling live in my into the to the rolling live in Miami. So the first match was this one, uh, which was Angelo Dawkins versus Chad Gable. I think it was an okay match, quick, short, not that pain, and I felt like it was really not that painless. So um, I think it was all right to say the very least. I think it was okay. Uh, so I mean, it is what it is. So Anthony, it's yours. It was about maybe a 2 star affair.
Yeah, about 2 to 2.25 for this. This wasn't exactly the type of match you would want to put on stage to generate a reaction from a crowd of casual fans, but the Street Profits always bring energy to their performances, and having longtime wrestling fan Wale introduce them to the audience didn't hurt. Angelo Dawkins won, but the biggest takeaway was just how cool the visual was. The stage was awesome, the sea of fans was stunning, and WWE embracing pop culture that isn't somehow 6 years too late is always welcome. So give it 2 to 2.25 stars in MF. I mean, that visual was amazing, and of course, I know you were getting the goosies seeing your stadium, Hard Rock Stadium, right there in the background. I know you were getting the goosies looking at that.
Yeah, it did, but it gets even better because the second fight on that stage in Miami was the SmackDown Women's Title match. The champion Bianca Belair puts the title on the line against Carmella, the winner of the bout, in 5 minutes and 35 seconds, and still the SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair. She successfully defends the title. Anthony, this was probably out of all the matches or anything that happened on the show tonight, this was the most perfect fight to have in Miami. These two women are the visionaries of what that show is all about. I think WWE was genius for putting Bianca versus Carmella on this stage in Miami.
Like the previous match, the title match faced an uphill battle. Fans in attendance at Rolling Loud, for the most part, were not familiar with Bianca Belair or Carmella, and it showed. The work was there, the match was perfectly acceptable, and Bianca Belair winning was the right call. Belair having that spotlight was a huge deal for her, and a company desperately seeking mainstream acceptance. The question now is where the EST goes from here. She has exhausted the feud with Carmella, but potential matchups against NXT call-ups like Shotzi and Knox and the debuting Toni Storm await. A great heel to counteract her phenomenal babyface act would be the best option, but such a performer is not readily available on the blue brand. That is until Sasha Banks comes back. And I'm still holding out hope that we're going to see those two have that highly anticipated WrestleMania rematch at SummerSlam. I'm still holding out hope for that, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they want to go in another direction. I don't know, but she needs a dance partner for Vegas. That's all there is to say there. So I'll give this about a solid 2.5 stars for the effort. I thought the match better. I thought last week's match was better, but well, like I said, that visual though was just amazing. So not much more to say. MF, this is your show, and it's only fitting that they did something like this tonight. I mean, we haven't seen anything of this caliber since Raw 25, when they simulcast from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn and the old Manhattan Center in Manhattan, and they did this unique setup tonight, and it's only fitting that we had this thing in Miami because we all know MF Miami. That's there's a special place in your heart for Miami, not just because of your Dolphins, but also because of your other favorite team, the Hurricanes, and who also play in that stadium. So only fitting that it was on your show tonight with Miami and the love affair that you've had with Miami since your birth. So that's really all there is to say on that. So 2.5 stars for me. So MF, it's your show, and like I said, and my question to you is, seeing that you're SmackDown, who is next for the EST? I don't know.
I'm hearing Sasha. I'm hearing Sasha's coming back, and if she is indeed coming back, this is the perfect person to have. So I think it's going to be Sasha Banks. We'll have to wait and see where that plays out. Obviously, there are other people that could possibly get a shot here, but I don't think there's going to be much in that quarter. So no, I thought they did really well with it. We'll have to see how this. So next up, we had was promo interrupted by Seth Rollins. Oh boy, Anthony, boy, did this pop off real quick. Major explosion in Cleveland. The Edgehead and I guess you could say the Messiah collision course, SummerSlam.
The work here from Seth Rollins was excellent. He is such a hateable little jerk. The obnoxious laugh and over-the-top outfits combined with a very real ability to beat any man he sets foot in the ring with makes him one of the best heels in the industry. He is exactly the guy to position across from Edge to ensure the rated R superstar remains a main event player without consistently having to be in the main event. It also elevates Rollins, who has been involved in significant rivalries with Cesaro and Rey Mysterio, but has been conspicuous in his absence from the world title picture on both Raw and SmackDown. The likelihood that both men benefit, the matches are awesome, and the WWE Universe enjoys some hella fun television on the road to and coming out of SummerSlam is very high. With this very good segment that we saw here tonight, both men were great, and that's all I can say. And MF, I know you're picturing it. Picture it. Edge, Seth Rollins in front of 70,000 plus at Allegiant Stadium 4 weeks from tomorrow. Just imagine what that's going to be like. One of the segments of the night for sure. So, MF, you've got to be salivating right now thinking about the awesomeness and the potential show stealer that these two are going to give us at SummerSlam.
Yeah, definitely. No doubt about it. So next up we had, it's going to be amazing. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be one of those great moments to see it happen. And I can't wait. I cannot wait for it to go down.
Next up we had... It's going to be something else, eh, Monsoon?
Yes, Florio, it will. It will. I will say now, this was one of the big moments. The debut of Toni Storm going up against Selena Vega. Toni Storm wins the match in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And I guess you could say it was kind of paint by numbers because Toni Storm making her debut, her first match on SmackDown, it goes up against Selena Vega, who's she's no slouch in the ring, and I'll openly admit it, not bad for a debut for Toni Storm, as Toni wins it.
Short. I could hardly hear what the time of the fall was, but I know it was a very short match.
2:35.
2:35. Yeah, that's what I thought. By default, this was the worst fight of the night. I'm going to give it 1 star. Maybe I could go as far as I'm not going to go as far as to call it a delicious squash, which is what I like to say about these kind of things. But
now Selena has some offense in it. She had a little bit of some offense at the beginning.
Yeah, but
it wasn't
But there was not enough time for this to rate out any better.
Yeah.
Tony Storm hit her offense and looked strong as she tossed Selena Vega around the ring with suplexes, so that's a positive. What is not, though, is Vega's usage early in her return to the company. She has yet to win a match, has no clear storyline direction, and appears no better off than she was when she was employed the first time. How WWE cannot recognize the asset it has in the charismatic performer is astonishing for all the wrong reasons. Hopefully, it figures out what to do with Zelina Vega sooner rather than later, because it absolutely should not allow her to fade into obscurity because of its own creative shortcomings. She didn't even get an entrance. She got the jobber entrance.
Yep.
Because she was already in the ring.
She was already in the ring.
Came out. So, I mean, when she first came back, I mean, we were excited. We thought maybe bigger and better things on the horizon, but no. Yes, she got to be in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. That's great and dandy and all that. That is, but tonight, I mean, yeah, jobber entrance, and then
I'm wondering, and this is the one thing I gotta say: is it possible that they're punishing her because of Malachi Black? Is this another instance of
great question
of the comments that maybe remember when Miro made the comments about
Vince on the when Miro debuted in AEW several months ago, and he took that big time low blow cheap shot on Vince, and look what happened. Lana got absolutely buried. I mean, they had Nia Jax put her through a table 10 weeks in a row.
Yeah, and now, but here's the thing: Malachi Black, or Aleister Black, as we know in WWE, has never said anything bad about WWE.
No.
Has not said anything bad about WWE. So It can't be that. Do you think that they're still harboring some ill will towards her because of that? I guess you could say streamer gate that they had. Maybe that's causing a little bit of some ruffled feathers.
That third party BS that led to her dismissal.
Yeah. So is it possible that might be one of the reasons why they're holding her?
That could be a reason, or the old guilty by association. Because of her husband, Malachi Black.
So,
who, by the way, will be squaring off against Cody Rhodes on that AEW Dynamite when they return to Daly's place on August the 4th, which will be a nice little early birthday gift for me, and which is going to be, but it's going to be a gift for all of us because we already know they're going to steal the damn show that night. So I'm already getting the goosies thinking about what the epicness that is to come when they throw down. But anyways, like I said, this was a 1-star effort. It's a damn shame what's happening to her because you and I know we know Zelina. I mean, MF. I mean, we followed her when she was in Impact Wrestling, when she was Rosita, and teamed up with Sarita, and they had a nice little thing going. They were part of that Mexican America stable with Sean Hernandez and Anarquia. We all remember that, and had a nice little run as a knockout tag team champion with Sarita down there. And when Sonya brought her back, I mean, all kidding aside, when MF was gurring and going nuts like a madman, but I mean, we thought maybe things were going to get better, but no, she's getting buried right here and now, and hopefully things will get better for her. But the thing is, Toni Storm. I mean, here's someone who won the Mae Young Classic in 2018, went on to become, one of the longest NXT, had a nice little run with the UK women's title. Obviously not as long as Kaylee Ray had, but still, I mean, she had a decent run with it. And she was battling injury, but, that's a great new addition you got there on SmackDown MF. And I see bigger and better things coming for Toni Storm. And it's not Storm 0 anymore. It's Storm 1. Storm 1 is now the name of that finishing move. So we'll have to wait and see. But long story short, I'm going to pull the old Colin Cowherd adage here, which is where I got this saying from. It's very simple, MF, as we move on. Tony Storm on the rise, Selena Vega on the decline. Damn shame.
Next up we had was Jimmy Uso versus Dominic Mysterio. Jimmy Uso wins the match in 7 minutes and 45 seconds. Solid match. Good match. Good everything that went down. You know what? I gotta say it. I guess nobody is expecting any problems. You know, Jimmy Uso, supposedly had a DUI under his belt or something like that, or he got in trouble with the law. Well, WWE doesn't give a damn about that. He just gave him a big win over Dominic Mysterio. Clean victory, by the way.
No, it wasn't.
That's what this is.
No, that was not a clean win.
Oh, with a little bit of some leverage.
Yeah, Jay had that. I mean, it's exactly they won this match the same way they won the tag titles on Sunday night.
Foot on the back for the 1, 2, 3. Yes. Oh well.
Yeah, this would be one of those times where you would call miscarriage of justice there.
Gotcha. But still, solid match. So, Floyd, what's yours?
Yep, and when that 3 went down, MF just yelled out, "Oh, come on, not again. Another miscarriage of justice." Yeah. Yep.
While Florio's like, if the ref doesn't see it, you can't call it. Right? Yeah. White flag.
Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. AMF? Monster. But all kidding aside, this was a good-spirited wrestling match that played on the ending of the title match from Sunday. This was a wholly acceptable conclusion to the in-ring portion of the night. The Usos build momentum. Dominic Mysterio ate a pinfall that does nothing to hurt him or his father, and the Bloodline stood tall heading into the commercial break. It was a great visual heading into the main event segment of the night and keeps alive the side feud to whichever challenger steps to Roman Reigns and the Usos' dominance over the Smackdown brand next. I could make an argument for probably 2 3/4 to 3 stars for this. It's right up there with the Balor and Zayn match. I mean, those were the 2 hands down best fights of the night. And long story short, MF, fun little sprint, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, very, very, very fun little sprint. Yeah, good match. There's really nothing more to add there. I thought they did a good job with it. And now it led us to the main event of the evening, which was Roman Reigns cutting a promo. He sidestepped John Cena. Cena challenged him to a at SummerSlam. Roman said no, but there was another man who came out. Finn Balor came out, challenged Roman Reigns to a match. Roman said yes. We're going to get Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor for the Universal title. Anthony, he denied Cena, but said yes to Balor. Very interesting.
And that is what we in the biz call a twist, a curveball. And what's this? Unpredictability?
I like it.
I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. And one of our favorite songs by the great Tim McGraw. But anyways, like I once again, all kidding aside, this was a great segment. I could probably call. I mean, I can't really put one segment over the other. All the in-ring segments tonight were great. They were A+ caliber segments, all of them. I can't put any of them over the other. I mean, just because this was a great segment, the likes of which we don't get enough from WWE. In one segment, Roman Reigns denounced John Cena and set up a big match with Finn Balor. The result is increased intrigue as to where the Cena feud is heading and interest in a potential main event run for Finn Balor. More importantly, WWE has potentially planted the seeds for its post-SummerSlam plans. If Balor beats Reigns in a non-title match, maybe with help from Cena, an irate head of the table would likely accept Cena's challenge out of anger. They would battle for the Universal Championship in the SummerSlam. Balor would logically have the next claim to a title match by way of his victory over Reigns. A series between them, beginning at September's Extreme Rules pay-per-view on September 26th at the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, would carry the brand through the early portion of the fall. If that's the direction the company takes, it will have demonstrated the sort of expanded storytelling it has often sacrificed in the name of nearsighted goals. So, like I said, all of the in-ring segments were fantastic. You can't put one over the other because they were all that damn good. And correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Finn Balor the inaugural Universal Champion?
Yes, and as a matter of fact, it was SummerSlam where he became the inaugural Universal Champion.
2016.
Yes.
He beat Seth Rollins in a 4-star match, and they had the second best match of that SummerSlam. We all know what stole the show that night, Cena and AJ, but that's a story for another day, and you can go back into MF's archives on his channel, and you can watch our review of that show. But anywho, Finn Balor, inaugural champion, had to relinquish it after 24 hours because he got hurt. He suffered a torn
rotator. Yeah, torn rotator cuff in the
labrum, shoulder, very severe shoulder injury, so severe that he had to give up the title after 24 hours, which was a damn shame. But he's had some shots at it. Most recently, of course, when he gave Brock Lesnar fits at the 2019 Royal Rumble. And quite frankly, I'll be honest with you, I would love to see Finn Balor get another run with the Universal title. I mean, it's a damn shame he never got the opportunity. I think he's capable of it. I mean, look at his 2 runs as NXT champion and tell me he's not capable of carrying a brand. Tell me he's not. Because both of those NXT title runs, he had great runs with both of them, especially the last one. So that's something that your guys and gals over on Team Blue must have to really consider. And if you're gonna bring him back to the main roster, give him the push that he should have had the first time. He was in the middle this time around. Put him out there. If that rehab stint, if you will, that he had in NXT was any indication, he should definitely get another run. And I would love. He's someone I wouldn't mind seeing dethrone the Tribal Chief, but a certain Mr. Money in the Bank, that's who I ultimately want to see dethrone the Tribal Chief, because he would think of the rub that he would get from that.
Oh yeah.
Or hell, whoever dethrones the Tribal Chief, it should be someone who could really exponentially benefit from the rub. That's all there is to it. Like someone who is deserving of it, like a Big E, like a Finn Balor. I mean, if they were to feed Roman to Cena at SummerSlam, Cena would get his big moment. He would get number 17 and he would break the Nature Boy's record and all that good stuff. Yay and all that. And it would be a historic moment, and that would cement his place in the Hall of Fame whenever he's ready. But like I said, if you're gonna dethrone the Tribal Chief, have someone, whoever does it should be someone who really could benefit from it. And if it's not Finn Balor, let it be Mr. Money in the Bank. That's all there is to it. So fantastic segments. So MF, very rarely do we see unpredictability in WWE, and we got it tonight. And whoa, what a curveball. Finn Balor? Wow.
Yeah. Balor is to get the shot. And now I don't know if it is for the Universal title or not. I do know that he did challenge him, so we're gonna get that. And the fans in Cleveland was all for it. They said, yes, give us Balor. Balor definitely deserves an opportunity. I know there's a lot of people who are very happy that it is Balor. So we'll see. Maybe, like you said, Balor steals one on Roman. That, thanks to John Cena, that would give Balor the open door to fight him down the line, where he could fight him for the Universal title at Extreme Rules, which would be the next pay-per-view after SummerSlam. So we could see that. We'll wait and see what happens. But all in all, I thought it was a good night. Overall review, I'm going to say this was an all right show. I thought this was maybe a 7 out of 10. What really paved the way tonight was the promos. Great one by Cena. Strong by Roman at the end. I mean, yeah, the promo segments were actually better than the in-ring action this time around, which, sometimes the in-ring action is better than the promos, but this is one of those nights where the promos ran the show and actually made the show amazing. So 7 out of 10 for me. Anthony, final thoughts.
Yeah, MF nailed it. The segments, I mean, all of the in-ring segments were fantastic. They're what made this show, and we only had 2 solid, decent matches. That was the Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, and the Jimmy Uso, Dominic Mysterio matches. The matches in Miami, solid but not overly spectacular. I mean, those could have been better. But this was a fine wrestling show, which is some pretty high praise after this past Monday's Raw. There were some good parts and there were some weaker parts, but above all else, there was nothing stupid on here. And that made so much of a difference. It wasn't about doing things that made little sense or seemingly sending some kind of message, but rather about setting things up and getting them done. I liked this show, and while it had some issues, that is a nice feeling to have. So I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10. The 3 promo segments, you got to go out of your way to see those. And I would also encourage you to check out the Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, and Jimmy Uso, Dominic Mysterio matches. Everything else you can skip, unless you're fans of those certain talents. So you didn't really miss anything there. So 7 out of 10, and all there is to say, MF, on to Minneapolis and the Target Center next week.
Yeah, and so we got really nothing more to add. So we are done for tonight. On Monday, we do this all over again. Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio. It's going to be him with the Raw recap and his traditional Tony's Take, 205 Live and Impact Wrestling. Wednesday night Mayhem. Thursday, Strictly Sports. It looks like we got some major news coming out of the NHL now. We got a monster trade that happened in Major League Baseball. We got some hockey trades that broke out today that kind of caught us all flat-footed. And then one that really broke my heart as a New York Ranger fan. Ranger fans are crying today. We lost Bucci. Pavel Buchnevich has been traded to a team that actually won the Stanley Cup a few years ago. Who's that team? You'll find that out on Thursday night. And we also got some other stuff for you guys. 1 week from tonight, another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk, Smackdown Live. And if there's anything else on the pipeline, we'll go from there. So with that said, thank you, Anthony Florio. Thank everybody, as always. We'll see you guys on Monday night. And until then, for Anthony Florio, I'm Michael Fletcher saying so long, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.